questions from anybody, either the audience or the superintendent or the cabinet? Anything? Okay. Then when the administrative guidelines are done, I forgot to say that even when you're doing the policies and so forth, you're going to get a draft back. And when you get that first draft back, you can look that over as a board and as a you know, as a special group or whatever. Look for anything that you see that you know you didn't want, or and it's still in there or something. Now, also with your own old policies, at the end of the drafting, what we'll do is have somebody go through your old policies that maybe are unique to your school system that you want to keep. And so that's another part of it. And then we'll put it in our numbering system as long as it has been, how would you say, a policy can be made without legal advice. But if you're going to have it in your book and all that, you're going to want your local attorney to look at that. But if it's an old one that's already been approved and all that, then we'll just make that part of ours. So the other part of this now is that I know that probably in the last 5 years, because we've taken over the MASB's business 5 years ago. So you must be really out of compliance. And why I say that is because, for instance, this is a matrix that was developed by our company. And by the way, I'm jumping around here, but I want you to know if something special comes out right away, and districts need to know that, we'll put out a special update. Now, what's in this little package here, this matrix, which you really can't see very, that's a spreadsheet. And a few of our clients called back to the office and they said, you know what, we had a federal auditor come and say to us, to the clients, you're a little out of compliance here, you're not up to date, and so forth. So what we did for everybody is, and I'm part of this is the update process, but what we did for everybody was I went around to all my clients as all of the other associates did, and we sat down and we either went through their big book or we got onto their computer while they were doing something else, and we pulled all the federal policies up, and if they were not up to date, now they should have been up to date, and the people that didn't have them up to date just kind of sat on them, didn't get them processed for a year or two, and then when the auditor came, they saw that they were out of date. So we went through, and they didn't have things like the definition of protected classes. They didn't have a compliance officer listed. They didn't have anything saying about retaliation and that type of thing. So then what we did is went through all the federal laws and let them go, brought an extra packet for them, and then they updated everything, and that was good. Now, I'm going to be coming out, if I'm the associate, I'm going to be coming out twice a year if you have our policies and guidelines. And in that twice a year, it'll be spring and fall. And this is the size of the update. And this happens to be this particular update. Okay, we color code everything. The yellow is the overview. That's for instructions on who to call and when to call the office and so forth if you have a problem. But then every policy that's been updated will be in bold. There'll be a vertical line and something's either crossed out or bolded. And then that will tell you which policies in the yellow section. Then we have what we call there's green sheets here. They're called legal alerts. I mentioned in the very beginning that we're in 7 states. And each state has their state attorney, again with school law background. So if something's happening in Wisconsin, and it may affect other states, they put out a legal alert, and it's on green paper. Now, this time around we have 4 legal alerts. These are not policies. These are alerting the district that they need to check what's the information that's on these and make sure that they're okay with it. So in this particular, I'm just going to give you the titles. The first one is the Telephone Consumer Protection Act and District Alerts. That has to do with robocalls, and some schools were not using robocalls in the manner in which they were supposed to be used. They were maybe the political campaign that was going on and so forth, and somebody wanted the school to use the robocall system for that. That's illegal. Okay, so that's one of them. Another one is the Every Student Succeed Act. It's the latest. It's done in layman's terms instead of legal. So that's for the district to know. And then I don't know if you're aware, Mr. Williams, the OCR has been checking into the websites.
Yes.
Okay, and that's a big thing now. There's across the country, they're doing this. There is a person for the people in the audience. There's a person in I think it's Macomb County that is an advocate for the sighted people with disabilities, and they can't always get to be on the web page the right way or whatever. So if someone calls in and complains, the OCR will call the district, and they make them jump through hoops. And not only the hoops, but to clear up most of these websites will cost anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000, and yet that doesn't, I mean, that's define what the problems are, but that doesn't solve the problem. So anyhow, there's one here on the web page accessibility and what the OCR expects. And then the last one has to do with drones. And some districts have been having a problem with drones, both for football contests or soccer games outside, people flying drones, either taking pictures or just, you know, that they shouldn't be going over crowds of people and so forth. So the information is on these legal alerts for the schools to be ready to act. Then the white is always policy, and again, the policy would be in white and crossed out or bolded, and then you've got the administrative guidelines the same way. So that's how we can support you, but we'll do all the work for you. Now in this last update, along with the update, what I just showed you is this web page accessibility. They come out with a special update. There's 4 policies in there. There's 2 guidelines and 2 forms. And supposedly, if you get those worked up and sent in, if the OCR would happen to contact you because of your website, these would help you, and you would say, yes, we're working with Neola on this, and we'll have the complete website, you know, up and running the way it should be, and take the pressure off of the district. So, want to know if you just have any questions. Or, by the way, I did see, and I want to congratulate this district and all of them from Wayne County on an enhancement. That is great. Why I say that, I live in a district, I live in the Bedford School District, and Bedford for the last maybe 15 years has an enhancement for technology. And it kind of blew my mind. I just found this out. They've been updating it, or you know, as elections come every 4 years or every 3 years, and they've been passing it. Well, every school in the Monroe County area, because of the ISD having this enhancement, gets $600,000 a year for technology, and that buys a lot of technology. And they have the best and the most updated technology in the whole state of Michigan because of an enhancement. So you guys are now having an enhancement, and it's wonderful. So congratulations.